In the ancient city of Hastinapur, a grand event was taking place, the Rajasuya Yagya of Yudhishthir, the eldest of the Pandavas. It was a magnificent celebration, one that invited kings, sages, and warriors from all corners of Bharat. The court was shining with gold, jewels, and the brilliance of knowledge, power, and culture. It was not just a celebration of victory, it was a celebration of dharma, righteousness. As part of the ceremony, there came a sacred moment, the ritual of Agrapuja, the highest honor given to the most worthy individual present in the court. This was no small matter. Choosing the right person to receive the first worship meant choosing someone who stood above all in wisdom, strength, humility, and righteousness. All the elders, warriors, and sages agreed the honor must go to Lord Krishna of Dwarka. Calm, ever smiling, and glowing with divine presence, Krishna had helped countless beings, guided the Pandavas, and stood firm for truth in every situation. With deep reverence and a heart full of devotion, Yudhishthir performed the sacred ritual and presented the Agrapuja to Lord Krishna, honoring him as the supreme upholder of dharma. But as Krishna stepped forward to receive the honor, the peace of the court was broken. A loud, arrogant voice rang out through the hall. It was Shishupal, the king of Chedi. His heart, full of pride and envy, could not bear to see Krishna being honored. In front of the entire assembly, he began to insult Krishna, mocking his past, ridiculing his birth, and questioning his worth. His words were sharp, filled with poison, and meant to hurt. The entire hall fell silent in shock. This wasn't the first time Shishupal had spoken with such venom. In fact, ever since they were children, he had carried a burning hatred for Krishna. What began as a spark of jealousy slowly turned into a deep and festering resentment. Shishupal couldn't stand Krishna's grace, his wisdom, his strength, his effortless command over hearts and minds. Over the years, this bitterness grew. He would mock Krishna in private, whispering insults to anyone who would listen, and when that wasn't enough, he brought his hatred into the open, hurling disrespect in royal courts and public gatherings. And through all of this, Krishna remained silent. He never reacted, never responded. But why? Because Krishna had made a promise long ago. When Shishupal was born, his form was strange. He had 3 eyes and 4 arms. His parents were terrified. But then a divine voice had revealed that the child would return to normal when he was held by the one who would one day end his life. That person was Krishna. And when baby Shishupal was placed in Krishna's arms, his body returned to normal. Shishupal's mother, Krishna's aunt, begged for mercy. She knew the destiny that awaited her son. Krishna promised her he would forgive Shishupal's offenses not once, not twice, but 100 times. And for years, Krishna kept his word. No matter how much Shishupal mocked or insulted him, Krishna did nothing. He stayed calm, he waited. But in that royal court of the Rajasuya Yagya, Shishupal went too far. This was his 101st offense. He had not only insulted Krishna but also mocked the decision of great sages and elders. He had humiliated the very idea of dharma. His words tore through the dignity of the sacred assembly. He had crossed all limits. And then, in that moment of silence, divine justice unfolded. Krishna, the calm protector of righteousness, did not shout, did not argue. He simply lifted his finger. And from it rose the Sudarshan Chakra, a spinning, divine disk, silent and radiant like the sun. It moved through the air with unmatched speed, slicing through pride, ego, and darkness. In the blink of an eye, the chakra struck Shishupal. His head was severed, and his body collapsed to the ground. The court was silent once again, not with fear, but with astonishment. But then something miraculous happened. From Shishupal's body, a glowing light rose and gently moved toward Krishna and merged into him. The same soul that had insulted Krishna repeatedly was now returning to him. Because, unknowingly, Shishupal had remembered Krishna more than anyone else, though with hatred, his mind had never drifted away from him. And constant remembrance of the divine, even through anger, leads to liberation. This was Krishna's justice, patient, fair, and precise. He forgave 100 offenses. He tolerated the sharpest insults. But when Dharma was mocked one time too many, he acted not with vengeance, but with divine responsibility. His Sudarshan Chakra was not just a weapon, it was the wheel of justice, turning silently until the time was right. Shishupal's story is a timeless reminder that pride can stretch far, but not forever. There is always a line. And divine patience, it's not weakness, but the highest form of strength. Krishna's silence wasn't helplessness, it was a deliberate choice, the choice to give someone every chance to turn back, to reflect, to change. But when that grace was exhausted, when Shishupal crossed the final line with one insult too many, silence gave way to action. And in that moment, truth rose like the morning sun, radiant, undeniable, and unstoppable. Before the assembly could even gasp, Krishna lifted his discus, the Sudarshana Chakra, and with a single, effortless motion, ended Shishupal's long chain of insults. It wasn't an act of anger, but of justice, calm, precise, and final. Because sometimes, when the time comes, Dharma must act. This story is drawn from the Mahabharata, specifically the Sabha Parva, Book 2, chapters 33 to 44. These chapters describe in vivid detail of the grand Rajasuya Yagya performed by Yudhishthir, the honor of Agrapuja given to Lord Krishna, and the dramatic fall of Shishupal. The original Sanskrit text, composed by the great sage Vidvyasa, presents this episode not just as an event, but as a turning point in the course of Dharma. It shows how patience is noble, but there comes a time when truth must act. Krishna's role in this moment is not just that of a guest or a king, he stands as the divine protector of righteousness. His decision to act, after giving every chance for change, reminds us that Dharma is not silent forever. When the time comes, it speaks with clarity, with power, and with divine justice. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, and the teachings of Lord Krishna. Your support helps keep these timeless epics and their life-changing lessons alive and accessible for everyone. If you'd like to support our work and help us continue creating meaningful content, you can make a contribution through PayPal. Even a small donation goes a long way in helping us bring more high-quality, enlightening stories to you. The link is in the pinned comment and in the description. Your support truly makes a difference. Thank you for being part of this journey. See you in the next video.